Welcome to week 20 of our sewing room organization challenge. So this month is July and we are working on our actual physical sewing space and making it the best that we possibly can. Last week we talked about the work triangle. I hope you had a chance to try that out. I have to say even this week I've been much more productive with my sewing since I've done that, so I can't wait to see what the future brings. So this week we're going to talk about making our space pretty or whimsical or just fun to be in. But first, my name is Chris O'Neill from Sew the Distance. Thank you for joining me today. I really love adding special touches, things that make me smile, whether it was as a teacher on my desk and in my classroom or here in my sewing room or in my office area. I just love to have fun things around me. It doesn't have to be expensive, it can just be memories you have. For example, I have this Elf figurine that I absolutely love, and if you're a child of the 80s like me, you can't really not smile at Alf. I also have this shelf that has a few trinkets and knickknacks and things from relatives that just remind me of them. In my office area, on my bulletin board, I have a few push pins or even just pins that you'd wear that just make me smile every day. So it doesn't have to be sewing related. It can just be fun things in your space that you just love to look at and that make you smile. You could decorate even with pictures of your family or plants or whatever it is that gives you joy. Just bring that into your space. Another example of something I recently picked up, and honestly I don't collect frogs or anything like that, but I love this. I found this at a yard sale last week and it made me smile. Now it's intended for sponges by your sink, I think, but I just love him, and he's going to be in my space. Now he might hold scissors or he might be made into yet another pincushion, because you know I have a need for pincushions. I have so many, but it's something, you know. So he just makes me smile, and that's why he's here. He was 25 cents. It was dirt cheap. It was enough just to bring that joy into my space. So stay tuned to see what happens with this frog. The person who sold it to me said his name's Herbert, so of course he's keeping that name. Another great way to decorate is with the quilt ladders, and you're seeing them everywhere now. People are having workshops at those wine and paint things where they're making the quilt ladders. You can get them just about anywhere. I've even know people who bought new ladders and made these out of them. For me, I must have been ahead of my time with trends because I've had this about 25 years. A friend of mine trash picked it for me actually in Massachusetts, and it's just an old wooden ladder. I've never finished it or anything like that, although I've thought about it, and it has been in my house ever since. So it used to be in my living room, now it's in my sewing room, and it has quilts hanging on it. On the rungs of these, I covered them with a pool noodle that I cut and slit, so you can see that here. It protects the rungs from the fabric, so because I use old quilts, I don't want any of the acid from the old wood to seep onto my quilts and ruin my quilts. Another thing, if you're going to do this, is to remember to keep it out of direct sunlight, which I'm not great about. Mine is in the sun and I do need to address that. And also make sure that you take them off periodically, refold them, dust them, wash them, whatever it is that you may need to do, because the tops will wear and you will get creases in them if you don't. But it is a great way to decorate, and it can be new quilts or old quilts or whatever, linens, whatever it is. You could be even your works in progress or quilt tops that you're waiting to have quilted or that you're waiting to quilt yourself. Another wonderful way to decorate your space is to frame some old patterns. So you can find old patterns at thrift shops or yard sales. You can even buy them online if you want to, and putting them in frames is a lot of fun too. So there's a lot of inexpensive ways to decorate and just bring that smile to your face as you're working in your space. So your first task for this week is to look around your space and to see where you could incorporate things that bring you joy. If you've done so already, maybe add a few more things. And if there's anything in your space that really gives you stress, maybe consider taking care of that, maybe putting it somewhere else or somewhere out of view, because honestly, what we see and what is around us really can affect our mood. It can affect our attitude in the space, and it can change the whole experience of sewing. Next, add things to your space that bring you joy. Maybe have one of your grandchildren create a picture for you, or put up a card that a friend sent you, just in front of your sewing machine. Something that's going to remind you of the people that we love and the world we live in. Whatever it is that brings you that joy, make sure you incorporate it into your space. And for your fun task, go out and search for something, whether it be in your home or at a thrift shop or even at a store, that you can bring into your space that's really just going to make you happy and has no other purpose but to make you smile. There are so many ways to decorate our spaces, whether it be a small space or a large space, and we just really have to have that space that's around us that is going to bring us joy and make us happy while we're there. If we have clutter and things around us that do not bring us joy, the experience of sewing is not going to be joyful either. Thank you so much for joining me for this video, and I hope your space is really coming to life and becoming a place that you want to be in and that you want to work in. Next week, I am going to do just a catch-all video of the things that I missed, like thread, organization, and batting. If there's anything else I missed, please let me know as far as stuff goes, because next month we are going to be completely focused on getting ready for the big sewing season, or at least that's the way I feel about the fall as we move forward. As always, thank you for joining me today. Please consider subscribing. It is free, and I will see you soon. Have a great week, and make sure you take some time to sew.